Good posture, I can punch Jim right in his face all day. Bad posture, can't even knock it. What's up, guys? Matt with Motorworks here. Got Jim with me again as we talk about how to ride a motorcycle. One of the best and most beneficial things in terms of motorcycling that's going to give you the most control of your motorcycle and help you to be the least fatigued after a long ride is that body posture. And it's one of the keystones to riding and riding well is getting in that good posture, because the benefits of proper posture far outweigh any other thing you learn on a motorcycle, aside from learning actually how to use the clutch and throttle and brakes. Posture helps with those. So if you don't have good posture, it makes using the clutch a lot more difficult. It makes using the brakes a lot more difficult. Throttle control is a lot harder. All those things really kind of depend on you having good posture while you're on your motorcycle. Jim's going to go out and he's going to sit on his bike and we're going to go over posture and its benefits. So we're going to head out to the bike now. Alright, here we are out here. Jim's on his bike already. We are going to go over posture now. Alright, so when we talk about riding posture, we start from the head down. So if we look at Jim's head, it's up and his eyes are looking straight ahead. We'll walk around here. Jim's looking straight ahead, alright? That's a pretty important step in the whole process, is keeping your head and eyes up. As we move down from his head, we notice that his shoulders are nice and relaxed. His back is straight. Now, some people may say that his back is bent because he's leaning forward. But if you look at his back, it's actually straight in relation to just it being too far back or too far forward. It's nice and straight and flat from this position. With his flat back, you notice that his arms are nice and bent as well as relaxed. And as we move down from there, we notice that his legs are in tight against the gas tank. Now, he has his bike on the center stand, but his legs are nice and tight against the gas tank, and that is what's giving him the stability to keep himself in this position. All right? So that's what good posture looks like. Now we're going to kind of break it down as to why these different parts are important. And to kick it off, we're going to start from the head down. All right? So one of the most common things I see when you're talking about the head and eyes is most folks, when they're out there riding, do a good job of keeping their heads and eyes up most of the time. But when it comes to cornering or a lot of traffic issues or braking or stuff like that, they tend to start to look down, much as Jim's doing. And one of the natural things that happen when you look down is you start to straighten those arms out and tense up. Now, one of the reasons you do this is subconsciously it scares you, because the more you look down at the road in front of you, the faster it seems like the bike is going. All right? So the goal is to keep our head and eyes up. And there's a ton of videos on YouTube where you watch people start to stare at the road, start to target fixate on stuff, and that's exactly where the bike goes. So when we say keep your head and eyes up, that's what you want to avoid, looking at something for too long. We always say keep your head and eyes up and your eyes always scanning, looking for danger at every turn.
That's all I have to say about that.
Now we're going to talk about the middle section and or the arms as well as back. Now, as I mentioned, the back needs to be straight, but straight is a relative term, because if Jim were to kind of straighten his back in relation to how he is sitting on the bike, notice how straight his arms become and how rounded his back becomes, because his back actually isn't straight at this point, it has a curve to his back. So his back's actually not straight at this point. It's actually back farther than it needs to be. So the other thing that people like to do when I say get your back straight is they like to hunch their back and hunch their shoulders. Now, it does bend your arms, but it does put a lot of strain in your shoulders there, because at that point, you're kind of holding yourself up with your hands because you're in an awkward position. So all we're talking about is a nice comfortable position where your back is straight, allowing your arms to be bent and relaxed, all right? So in those different positions, you saw Jim's shoulders got all kinds of out of sorts and tight and tense. So that's what we're trying to avoid. All right, moving forward into the arms, one of the things that is super important about the arms is we always want to have them bent. Bent arms give you the most control of the bike. Matter of fact, bent arms help you out with a lot of things. The more we can keep our arms bent, the more maneuverability we have on the bike, the easier the bike is to control, the less fatigued we're gonna be, because if Jim starts to straighten his arms out, he starts to carry a lot of tension in his shoulders. So we gotta get those arms bent and relaxed.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Now the only way to do that is to have our knees against the gas tank. So tightly, I always tell people that you pop the gas cap off. All right, that's your goal. Your whole ride is to try and squeeze your tank so tightly that it cuts off the fuel supply to your engine. And obviously that's not going to be possible, but it gives you a goal in mind to actually remind you to keep that gas tank squeezed with your knees. All right, because if Jim doesn't squeeze the gas tank with his knees, all the stress goes into his hands, all the stress goes into his arms as well as shoulders, and now it's really difficult to fight the bike because he straightened his arms out again. And what do we know about straight arms? So again, it's the one thing I constantly tell people: squeeze the tank tighter so that you can relax the upper portion of your body. Okay, squeeze the knees into the tank so that you can be nice and relaxed up top, and it gives you the most control over the motorcycle. So that's good posture. Let's head back to the couch and kind of talk about it. All right, guys, we're back. Jim?
Hey, showed you how to use some nice posture positioning there. Make your ride a lot smoother, a lot more comfortable, and a lot easier over time. A lot less muscles and fatigue. And for your riding career, it'll help a lot when you get into the higher level body positioning to have that basic level stuff squared away.
The thing too, when you get done with a long ride, you should be sore in your abs, your legs, your hip flexors. All that stuff should be sore. You shouldn't be so sore in the shoulders or the elbow sockets. That's a good one. Or the hands. Your hands shouldn't really be sore, because if you find you're really gripping that the handlebars, the grips, if you find you're really squeezing tight, it's going to be very fatiguing on you, and it is a good indicator that you're probably not in a good posture. All of the work should be done in the lower half of your body to keep this as free moving as possible, because on the bike you really need the ability to move about the handlebars and controls freely, because that's going to help you ride that bike in a safer manner. So if there's anything I missed on posture that you guys think should be brought up, as always, drop a comment below. If you made it to this part of the video, the secret word is Ducati. Drop that in the comment section below. I'll see how many people made it to this part in the video. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. We got a lot more how to ride a motorcycle videos to come in the future. I did not forget about the grass clippings video. I've just been waiting for a day where I have a long grass to cut and an open parking lot to ride in. So look for that video coming up in the very near future. As always, I'm Matt. This is Motorworks. Thank you guys for subscribing. We'll see you in the next video.